Vámonos.
Mush!
Mush, mush.
Ándale.
Arriba, arriba.
Arriba, arriba, ándale, ándale.
Oh, we are crazy.
I'm not. My mother had me tested.
Bionic.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 voice in my head said he talked to the 5 in yours, and they all said you were crazy.
Asshats.
The gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down, down. Clear sky. Where am
Alrighty, well howdy y'all and welcome back. We are here and we're live and I am your host for the evening tonight. I'm back as hosting, feeling a lot better, mouth is healed up quite significantly, so here we are. So,
Yay.
yes indeed, feeling much better, thank goodness. So, with that, we will get right into our introductions here, and first up we'll start with Brooke. Hello Brooke.
Hey.
How are you doing this evening?
Good. Glad it's the weekend. Glad it's Friday. Got a drink here, and yeah, it was a fun day at work. System's not wanting to cooperate.
Oh yeah, that's always fun. Well, we're glad you're here with us this evening, and we also have with us tonight Tornado. Hello, Tornado.
Hello everyone, Tornado here, and I'm playing Kerbal Space Program and trying to complete a Sputnik mission thing.
Aha. Well, we're glad you're with us here tonight, Tornado, as well. And we also have the lovely Mom Nato with us.
Hi guys, welcome to movie night. Hope everybody has fun, enjoys the stupid, and us debunking it. Enjoy.
Well, glad to have you here as well. And then we also have with us Bionic Dance tonight. Hello, Bionic Dance.
Hello, how's it going? Good to be here. I'm a little tired, but I'm sure I'll make it through the night.
It's still pretty early for you.
It is, but it's been one of those days, you know what I
Oh
mean?
dear.
Ah, yes.
Oh, no, the other kind.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're here with us, and hopefully we'll keep you wide awake with our wheel of stupid. All right, let me get that pulled up. Perfect. Alrighty, so with that, we do have some lovely stupid on the wheel tonight. So, without further ado, should we take a look at the wheel? All right.
Sure.
There's our lovely wheel for the evening. It's quite full.
Yes.
We have Pyramid, we have Immortal, we have Immortal 2, we have Hindu, we have Paranormal, we have Creepy, we have Alien, and we have Grand Canyon. So we've got quite a plethora of stupid tonight.
Pyramids.
Is this plethora indeed veritable?
It is, yes. I had to make sure, you know. All right. Well, without further ado, Tornado, would you like to do your
Wheel of
incantation?
misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it!
Ooh, it's like psychedelic colors.
Oh goodness.
Wow, holy stoner toy, Batman.
Maybe I should not be eating aliens.
Yay!
Eating my crackers and cheese while that's spinning. Oh my god.
Yeah, probably not. All right, give me one moment here to get everything brought up. This one is a
the
short
one.
one.
I think it is. There's like a lot of time where they repeat something because it slows down over time, and then like there's a bunch of other examples that never slow down like that.
Gotcha. Well, this one is a short one. It's only 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I think we might be able to handle this one.
Yep.
All right. Get that brought up here.
Yeah, this is the one I was thinking of. There's like 40 seconds of just, but then it gets into other things.
Aha.
So 40 seconds of word vomit that repeats itself. Okay.
All right.
I think we can handle it. It's only 40 seconds.
Jinzu says that's a whole 120 seconds. It burns. Yes. All right. Well, then, let's see. All right. Well, then I guess we should get started with this lovely alien. This one is called 5 Alien Caught on Camera.
5 aliens?
No, 5 Alien. There's no S.
Okay.
It's just 5
So
Alien.
you know we're dealing with a Mensa candidate here.
Yes.
So, do we get a call it on? Do we get a call drink calls on grammar or no? Especially when I'm the one
No.
calling it. That's bad.
All right, here we go, guys.
There it is! Son of a gun! Right down the middle of the road!
Now I'm calling drink here.
Okay.
Because like they say it's in the middle of the road, so this is clearly Earth. But for some reason, the communication has that NASA beep at the beginning of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I'll add on to that with. This is about as hokey as you can get. I'm sorry, this is hokey as this is like. This wouldn't even pass for a 1940 sci-fi film, hokey. That's bad.
It's clearly somebody wearing black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
And looks like they might have stilts on.
It looks
We
like
also
someone
have,
tried to overlay a layer.
Jinzu who says road on the moon. Yeah.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Exactly. Oh man. All right. Well, let's see here. Where did my thingy go? It's bad when you lose your thingy. Okay, there we go. All
What's your
right.
thing?
As long as you didn't lose your whatchamadingy, you're fine.
I did not, so we're good. I think. Here we go.
There it is! Son of a gun! Right down the middle of the road!
This is how.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's the video quality, you know?
Right. Top notch.
There it is! Son of a gun! Right down
Ah, yeah.
And what I
Slow it
find
down.
interesting, drink.
Yeah.
Yes, tornado. I think I heard first.
I swear, this looks like one of those things you might hear from that Flo Rida song, Low. It's like, that's what the alien looks like it's doing. I'm sorry.
I have no idea what song you're talking about.
If I played it on the air, you'd have an idea, but then we'd also get demonetized.
Well,
and
fair
copyright
enough.
stricken.
But I think we'll end up demonetized. We say fuck enough. So,
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many of these stay monetized. Many more than you would assume. We did have to mute out our little buddy's song last week, by the way. The Music Guru. I had to wind up muting it because we got a copyright claim. Not a strike. Not a strike, but just a content ID claim kind of thing.
From our old buddy, the Guru.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I guess we aren't suggesting any more of his music then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just whoever goes back and watches it later then can't hear that part, but
Yeah. Well, maybe that's for the better.
right?
Yeah, really.
If we want them to come back.
Yeah.
Mom Nato, you also had your hand up?
Okay, another thing I noticed is that one frame of that video, the alien has arms. And in the next frame of the video, the alien doesn't have arms.
Are you trying to say that someone is trying to fool us and has
Oh,
faked it?
damn fucking straight.
Can't
Oh
believe that.
my God.
Wait, people
How
lie on the
dare they
internet?
are.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, all the
I read
time.
on the internet that everything on the internet is true, so it must be
Mhm.
true.
Uh-huh. Well, sucks to be you. Sorry, that was a little over the top. But...
No, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh,
All right, let's.
it's the gray-skinned aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah. There isn't a lot more to this, but there are a bunch of just alien. Yeah. Because we still
All right.
have like 4 aliens to go.
Yeah, there we go. We still got a minute and like 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go, guys.
I love how it just nonchalantly walks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one has no audio, it appears.
Stupid. Do you think we are?
Very.
Very.
Hmm.
Um,
That's supposed to be, I guess,
UFO.
Spaceship. Yeah.
it's a firework.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That is janky as all hell.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
looks like someone tried to put a layer over the film. You can see the
Hmm.
editing on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are so freaking hokey.
Yeah.
Like, how do people buy it?
Oh,
Well,
yes.
that's just from the poster.
Oh, that is
I
actually.
want to believe poster. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh my gosh.
That's clearly a spaceship.
Hmm.
Yeah, so much so, and
So hokey.
And that is the end of that one.
ugh.
Oh my god.
So that was fun.
that was that
Woohoo.
like
Tornado, your hand is still up.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the 1940s the Godzilla monster looks way more believable than that.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, Cernian says aliens for sure. And Cajun
Right.
Crustacean says, somebody call Mulder.
Brooke, drink.
What?
Godzilla was not around in the 1940s. He was around in the 1950s, specifically
there you go.
1954, created by Ishiro Honda.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, it
I
is true. I mean, Godzilla had to be post World War II because it was kind of a metaphor for the bomb.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, true. Okay, I thought it came out in 48. My bad.
All right.
I mean,
well,
it could
let's
have
see
actually.
here.
I mean, the war was over by then.
Where did it go? There we go. All right. Let me bring up our wheel again. Bear with me one moment. I'll get that pulled up here. Let me take
No, I don't
aliens.
want to bear myself to you.
Well,
Thank
you know what? Too bad.
If I bear myself, yeah, that's definitely gonna get a content strike.
Yeah,
and
right.
Everybody will be mentally
No, I don't
scarred.
want to be fuzzy and furry again.
So tempted to just mess with Tornado by singing other 80s or 90s cartoon theme songs. You know, Heathcliff, no one should. Anyway, you know.
I remember that one.
Turn,
Hey,
turn,
that
turn.
was
Who
my
is this
stuff,
stupid that we should burn?
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
and I'm pretty sure Tailspin was 90s, not 80s.
Well, that's why I said 80s and 90s. I did
Oh.
specify
Oh
both.
my god,
Yeah,
that
that's
is
true.
trippy as all hell.
I know. It's
Ugh.
perfect. It's beautiful. It's the Grand Canyon.
Almost
Oh
got
god,
pyramid.
thank God we missed Pyramid.
No,
So-
we want the pyramid.
No, I don't
Um,
want to hear the raging tornado.
You're all gonna
I
love
do.
this one. This one's gonna be extra special.
Oh god.
This
Oh,
can't be
yes.
Beethoven, is it?
This is special one.
Please,
A
not
special
Kenthoven,
one?
Please, not Kenthoven. Please, not Kenthoven.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Grand Canyon is a pretty spectacular ditch,
That's
but other
true.
than that,
What? Don't forget, it's got water running through it.
so do I. What's your point?
TMI.
Oh,
TMI.
bad. Bad,
All
bad,
right,
bad.
you guys ready for the Grand Canyon?
Oh, sure.
Ta-da!
Oh God!
Oh,
Cat Holland.
Oh, yes.
okay. Okay,
Hey.
Drink. I am calling it on you, Sly Strikling.
I had to
Drink.
throw a Kent Hovind in there. This one
You
was
know,
one of
one of
his
these
short
days-
ones.
One of these days, I am going to submit every video in his seminar
Yeah.
to us.
He's
and we will have to go through
special.
it. He's something.
Yeah, Jinzu had it
Oh,
right. Special.
I don't think I've ever seen the Kent Hovind video.
Oh, well, you're in
Oh.
luck.
Oh, listen for when he says the word water. Just trust me.
Okay.
It will drive you fucking nuts. And
It
more
will.
importantly,
It really will.
Well,
I
this
can
one is a
already
nice
tell where
short
this is
one.
going.
It's only
The
5
Grand Canyon
minutes.
could have been that
Only.
Oh,
Yeah, Kent Hovind is going to.
It's how long?
Did not make that canyon over billions.
It's
of
only
years.
5 minutes.
okay, so in movie night time, we're talking about an hour because it is Kent Hovind.
Yeah.
Well, but we don't have some of the like notorious stallers on the panel tonight, so
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, I have a question. Are we allowed to do a Kent Hovind video without RJ present?
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be here for it, but he allowed.
Well, you know,
is
we
not.
could just respin and
Well, yeah, I mean, if RJ
Well,
shows up,
it's
I'll just
been
start it
built
over
up
from
so
the
much.
beginning.
Now I want to
Oh,
see
okay.
it.
Oh,
all right.
All right,
Are
All right,
you
let's
really
just
that
play
much
it.
of a masochist?
here we go.
And yes, she is. Tornado, put
One
your
of the
hand
lies
down.
they teach the kids in school is that it took millions of years to make Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon
Drink.
formed in less than a week.
Brooke, I think I heard you first on that one.
Yeah. Grand Canyon taking millions of years to form is not a lie. So yeah, you're just a bloomin' idiot and a bumbling fool who, oh yeah, isn't he supposed to be in jail right now? For wife
He is,
beating?
I believe
I
so.
think so. Yeah.
He's not in jail though.
Oh,
He's-
really? Because
he's still-
last I heard, he had been tossed in the clink for like tax evasion or some shit. He's
Yeah.
back in again.
He got released and then he got convicted of beating his wife. And he was
He's
supposed
a
to have 30 days in jail and then a year of unsupervised probation. And he is still doing live streams from his little, whatever you want to call that little hovel.
That's just so weird. I mean, why is it that these religious types are worse Christians than atheists?
Yeah. I wish I knew.
Because they're self-entitled.
Yeah.
Tornado, you had your
It's
hand
not
up?
the original. It's not the.
Yeah. At least Kent Hovind isn't going to say that canyon was carved in 30 minutes, because let's talk about the physics of that. To carve the Grand Canyon in 30 minutes...
Unless he says it, Tornado, maybe we don't need to debunk it.
Let's get it over with.
Yeah,
Let's
why
end
don't
this
we,
quickly.
say it takes 30 minutes to carve the Grand
Well,
Canyon.
what I think is interesting is that he's claiming that it was carved in a week. Okay,
No,
fucking prove it.
less
Yeah.
than a week.
Well, I mean, clearly the week is like, ooh, God's special 7
Right.
days, you know.
All right, well, let's continue on.
Okay, nowhere in the Bible does it say God created this Grand Canyon.
Here we go, guys.
Don't let them lie to you, kids. Grand Canyon's a washed out dam. Grand Canyon formed very rapidly.
Yes,
Drink.
Tornado.
We have examples of washed out spillways, and they look nothing like the Grand Canyon. An example of this would be one of the Lake Missoula floods, also known as the Scablands. Scablands. That's right, Kent Hovind. The kind of flood you're pushing for, or the kind of event that you're pushing for, would leave notable geologic traces. And we have an example of that somewhere in the Washington, Montana, Idaho, Oregon area called the Scablands. We don't see that in the Grand Canyon. None of it is seen in the Grand Canyon. You're just wrong.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
the Scablands, that's
Jesus.
where all the mutants on motorcycles rule the wastes, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Scavenging, you know.
Exactly, just like that.
Scavenging or scabbing?
A little bit of both.
I just saw the opportunity for a stupid Road Warrior joke. Don't mind me.
All right. Well,
Fine.
let's continue on since we're only about 20 seconds in. We've still got about 280 seconds to go. So
Oh
That's
God.
too much.
here we go.
We had a dam right across here, across our lake, and several years ago, we cut a notch in the top, let the water start coming over the top. Within 4 minutes, the notch was 8 feet wide, and in 7 minutes, the whole dam was gone. Dams erode fast. Anytime the lake gets too full,
Yep.
Yes, Tornado?
Yeah. And you know what we don't see in the Grand Canyon? A massive dam. We don't see any of the sides of a washed out dam anywhere in the Grand Canyon. So you're proposing something that did not happen. Kent Hovind, you need to stop being a liar for Jesus and get some self-awareness.
And Bionic Dance, you had your hand up?
Well, more than that, he just says that the dam erodes, but that doesn't mean that it carved out a canyon beyond it. You know, it's just the dam went, sure, but then what?
Mm-hmm.
And Brooke, you had your hand up?
Yeah, and to add on to all that, you know, what probably that dam was made of was probably topsoil. And so it would erode quickly, but the Grand Canyon has things like limestone in it that don't. So unless he's going to try and argue
Bedrock.
that, yeah, bedrock too. So unless he's going to try and argue that somehow all that was freaking a mile deep topsoil, which,
Right.
mind you, that doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
That is agriculturally, biologically impossible. Geologically impossible as well. So yeah, I'm gonna say he's absolutely wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
limestone, I really hope they also have some tequila stone.
Mm.
That'd be a shame if they didn't. All right. Well, shall we continue on?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here we go.
finds the lowest point, cuts a notch, and drains the lake. That's what happened at Purdue University. This huge dam was cut right across there, drained the whole thing in 15 minutes. That's what happened in San Francisco. This mountain range in the south and mountain range in the north, if they were
Right.
connected,
Yes, Tornado?
No. Just no. That's not how that was formed. Jesus, Ken, you really love your flood geology. But here's the thing. None of it works. We know how that huge bit of California that faces the Pacific Ocean was formed. It was formed when some long chain of land ended up crashing into the rest of California, thus forming the coast. That's where the San Andreas Fault is, liar for Jesus.
So what you're saying is that it wasn't a flood, it was actually
Exactly.
tectonics?
Mm-hmm.
Plate tectonics. Read it and weep, Kenty boy.
Well,
Oh wait,
who
I know
knew?
exactly what you're going to say about plate tectonics, Kent. I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
Tornado, I have a question. Why don't you tell us how you really feel about Ovid?
Yeah, right.
You know what's so much more interesting
I'd be
than
glad.
plate tectonics is bowl tectonics.
Oh.
But I prefer the
Serving
fork
platter
tectonic.
tectonics, you know.
Fork tectonics for me.
All right. Well, let's continue on. Mine is
Okay.
just paper plate tectonics. We can't afford
Yeah,
the good,
I
the
don't
good
know
china.
If you create earthquakes, you're in the tech industry.
There you go. All right. Well, let's continue on.
if you plugged up that gap, a great big lake would fill up in the middle of California. It got too full, went over the top, washed out San Francisco Bay, left behind the best dirt in the world, and probably formed that canyon 50 or 100 years after.
Yes, Brooke?
My God.
I'm sorry. But basically, I'm just going to put this, and if he mentions it again, we can only just do ask and answer if you want. But basically, it's his whole thing about, like, oh, well, if you plug this here, it's going to create a big giant lake. Is that pretty much how he's going to argue every single one?
Pretty much. I think so.
I'm just trying to figure out how we've been talking about dams for all this time, and he still hasn't said water.
Yeah. Not yet, at least. All right. Well, let's continue on. Let's see if we can make it like 30 seconds.
Without anything.
I know that's tough, but let's see how we do.
After Noah's flood, and probably took about 3 days to make all that. Dams can break quickly. The Kaibab Plateau is about 45 miles wide and 60 miles long, and at 7,000 to 8,000 foot elevation. It's like this big bump I made here. If this was the Kaibab Plateau, if you plugged up Grand Canyon, which
Hold
cuts
on,
across
30
like
seconds.
this, a great big lake would fill up behind it. There was a lake that went all the way back to Colorado. Then it got too full, they found the lowest point, and it started meandering around,
Whoops.
and it would start eating.
All right. 30 seconds. Tornado.
Motherfucker. That was painful. Don't ever do that again with him. He acts so much damn stupid in the 30 seconds that you want to shit yourself.
We're going to do it again.
Also, the Kaibab uplift. The clue is in the name. It's being lifted up by plate tectonics, you fucking retard!
No yelling.
Yes, the echo is lovely. Stop it.
Brooke, you also had your hand up.
Yeah, oh god, he's so much stupid. Where do I start? Like, basically, my biggest issue, what got me to raise my hand, is the way he's trying to describe that the canyon would go. Canyons don't curve. If you're gonna do that, it's going to more or less be straight on. It's not gonna take a curve, come back around, and that. Especially if the way he's wanting to argue is it was fully covered by water.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
It wouldn't even do any of that. It would just,
Go straight. Completely.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking gone.
So it wouldn't, because the force he's saying is needed to do that. It wouldn't move around. It would just be a straight line. It would be like a water jet cutting through steel.
Right.
Let's also mention that in order for it to create the river and the canyon, there has to be a force behind it. If the whole thing is covered with water, it's not going to erode in one spot. It's going to erode across the entire surface of the lake.
Yeah.
There you go, Mom NATO, with those pesky facts again.
All of his examples so far have been the dam broke and then there's a lake. The dam broke and then there's a lake. He hasn't had any the dam broke and then there's a canyon.
Yeah.
Right.
He hasn't had an example of that even once yet.
Well, that's what his little carving that he's making is. He's trying to say that that's where the dam broke and
But he
the lake
doesn't say where
behind
the
it
water
came out.
went.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't gotten to that point yet.
All
I'm
right.
guessing he assumes the water went into the Rio Grande River.
Maybe.
Or, my guess would be that it actually wouldn't gone into the Rio Grande. It would have gone into the ocean where the Colorado River delta is and dumps into the ocean.
Right.
That's where he's probably going to say.
Okay, I didn't know where the Colorado River
I
ended,
believe it goes
so.
into the ocean, so I could be wrong on that. I was already wrong on the year, Godzilla came out, so could easily be wrong.
Wait, Godzilla came. I didn't know Godzilla was gay.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I'll just see myself out.
Godzilla would have to be trans because Godzilla has a kid.
Oh, there you go.
Who remembers that cartoon there?
Ugh.
All right. Well, let's continue on. Here we go.
Being at the other side. Canyons always wash out from the far side in. So there may have been some obstacles it had to go around, but it would start off on level ground and eat its way down until it got down deep enough to be at the bottom of the lake, to drain the lake. It probably drained that lake in less than a week.
Wait, drink.
And Grand Canyon.
Yes.
But he said something about the lake would get drained. But I didn't catch exactly what he said about how. But like he just said, oh, the water will go down here and drain the lake. But it looked like he was showing the formation of a lake. I'm confused.
No, he's showing the formation of the canyon. He's trying to claim that the canyon formed at one spot at the bottom of the lake, which is not possible.
Well, but
And
that's
it
not the part
formed-
where I was confused.
Yeah,
That's
he's
not the part
claiming. He's claiming that the lake was drained by the canyon forming, by the dam, quote unquote, breaking. He's trying to see that the river that we know as the Colorado River carved a simple notch in the bottom of a lake bed and the water drained out.
No, but the way he was illustrating it, the way he was moving the sand around, it sure looked like the dam broke, the water went down and formed a lake, and that was it. But then it's like it sounded like he said, and then all the water got drained, and I'm like, okay, but where'd it go?
He hasn't said where it went. He's just saying that the water got drained.
All right, well, I kind of expected an explanation, but all right.
You're expecting too much.
I was gonna say that might be a little much. But let's see what else he's got.
Canyon today is about 18 miles wide and a mile deep, and it's a broken dam.
No.
No.
Asked and answered.
Drink.
In the summer of 2021, we had a big storm, and this lake got too full. It went over the top right here. The water's running this way, and it started eroding this way. All canyons do that. The water goes this way, the groove comes this way. If we'd let it keep running, it would have eaten a giant canyon all the way back here from this little bitty pond. It does not take millions of years to make erosion like that. Probably took about 1 hour to erode.
Yes, Tornado.
Okay, if you're going to say it could take 1 hour 30 minutes to carve the Grand Canyon, which is basically what he's claiming right now, you're going to get water. Let's be generous and give him 1 hour. You're going to get water moving at 270 miles an hour. Do you realize how fast that is? That is the speed of that is faster than the speed of some Formula One race cars.
Mm-hmm.
Water moving at 3 miles an hour inside a cast iron pipe can cause that pipe to fracture or burst due to something known as the water hammer effect. What do you think it's going to do to solid Earth moving at 270 miles an hour? But it gets even worse if we allow for it to be carved in 30 minutes like he's claimed in previous videos. Because at that point, the water is moving at 540 miles an hour, which is faster than the speed of some late World War II era jets. And that's when things really get off the rails. Because at that point, you have 540 mile an hour moving water coming to a dead stop. That is basically a tsunami in the middle of the ocean, but it's on land. There would not be a canyon carved by that. It'd be a freaking crater. Full stop.
And Brooke, I think you had your hand up as well.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say asked and answered already, mentioning the topsoil, because what he's basically pointing to is, again, more topsoil-ish and maybe some clay bottom soil, but not freaking rock.
Yeah. And Bionic Dance, you had your hand up as well?
Brooke took mine.
Ah, okay.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Well, let's see what else he's got. I mean, we're halfway through, so he's clearly going to get to, science and stuff here soon, I'm sure.
Drink.
All right, here we go.
Put all that dirt away. During the storm last summer, the water came pouring out of the woods here, came right across our little road, and began washing out this canyon in less than an hour. Did not take millions of years. Once the water starts moving, it picks up speed, going down.
Yes, Bionic Dance.
That's twice he said water normally, and I'm starting to wonder if it's really him.
That's true. It might not be. I don't know. I'm not
Creation of
convinced.
Body snatchers.
Although, why would anybody pretend to be him? I mean, of all people.
Well, you know, to mess with everyone, I guess.
Okay. I guess that makes
If
sense.
I was going to pretend to be him, I would actually start spouting science and ruin all his credibility. If he hasn't done that already.
Well, yeah. I think he's already beat you to it. Uh-oh. Hold on. We'll let RJ in. And Mom Nato, you had your hand up?
Okay, he keeps claiming that what he has from where the water washed out the dirt is a canyon. That is not a canyon. It is a wash, where it means that the water has eroded away the surface of the topsoil.
Yeah.
You have, it's called a wash, not a canyon. Or it's a gully, not a canyon. A canyon is much deeper, much broader. It's just bullshit.
And that's all that needs to be said.
Hello,
All
RJ.
right. We also had
Hello.
RJ pop in. Hello, RJ. How are you
Yes,
doing this
I was a
evening?
little late there. I was expecting to see a little notification that was saying new message, and there wasn't one. And I go, wait a minute, this has been a while.
RJ,
Yeah, I posted
we're
it in the
dealing
group.
with-
I didn't post it. I didn't send it directly.
We're dealing with the idiot whose ass you oh so thoroughly kicked back when you debated him the last time. And
Ah.
he's never to debate you again.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. Yes. Is
Yeah.
he expounding on geology?
Right.
He is currently claiming that the Grand Canyon was not carved over millions of years because it doesn't take millions of years to carve out a ditch.
Oh golly gosh, he's vaguely riffing off of the young Earth creationists to try to bring up pieces of Mount St. Helens. I can make little itty bitty canyons using my garden hose in the backyard, but they won't stay there any length of time.
Right.
And no
Right.
one is ever going to accuse poor Hovind of knowing anything about the geology of what forms incised canyons. But one thing that does not produce an incised canyon, which is a nested V-shaped arrangement like what we see at the Grand Canyon, which I was just there last month. You get catastrophic flooding. It produces coulees like up in the Pacific Northwest when you have the Missoula floods. You do not produce nested canyons. There's a whole big section on it in the rocks were there. Blah,
Yes.
please.
Still, I'm quite impressed that you have hose just for your garden. I usually have to meet them at strip clubs.
Yes,
my
yes. Well, yeah, we live in a very liberal neighborhood here in Spokane.
Yeah, and let's not mention the fact that he thinks the Grand Canyon was formed by a lake bed digging deeper into the ground and created the notched V.
Yeah, that's really sweet of him. Unfortunately, yeah. In fact, one of the little mythologies in creationism is that there was this kind of lake. Well, for one thing, they've got the rocks to account for, and then the canyon. So they can't
Right.
have the two happen all at once. So all the stuff that has fossils in it has to be laid down in the big slosh, and then it has to magically turn into rock really quick. He loves to shake his little jar and say, "Look, see how it forms layers." That's quite true, Kent, but it never forms rock, does it?
Yeah.
You can't take that thing and try to put a pickaxe on it. You'll discover it's still muck. And
Right.
and you can't convert it into rock. No creationist, certainly the creationist way above Kent Hovind's pay grade, Andrew Snelling and all the rest have never offered the slightest evidence for how the damn stuff turns into rock, in which case we don't have to care about how many alleged floods are happening upstream. However, the hypothetical lake upstream that supposedly is spilling to produce the carving of the canyon, it doesn't exist. And it never existed. And the geology has become quite clear on this, and I'm not sure Kent knows about any of that crap either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you
like-
know, if there was rock like that, though, I would buy the property and then just build this city on it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it'd be really nice if you could make like granite, like just from dumping stuff in a
I
bucket.
get it.
Yeah, I think Tornado's the only one who got that.
Oh no, I got it.
I got hey, I will say this. That is one of my favorite songs from the 80s.
Yep.
And if we're gonna go references like that, then but if you build that city that way, you have to do it from a starship, but it also has to be named Detroit.
Right.
Mm.
I'll throw another music reference in at you.
Don't forget, it also has somebody named Jefferson in it.
What?
Yeah.
Never mind. Anyway, that Kent
The
Hovind.
starship has mighty wings.
Oh, right, Jefferson Starship. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and let's-
The artist
let's-
formerly known as Jefferson Airplane, I guess.
Yeah, and let's not mention that Kent Hovind's idea of a canyon being formed is like calling the Grand Canyon an inverted camel toe.
All right, I won't mention that.
Oh God, you
Um,
bastard!
Brooke, you also had your
By
hand.
the way, can I just vomit metaphorically at his shirt?
Yes.
Okay.
By all means. I mean,
Yeah.
that would make even Magnum PI go, dude, take it down a notch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And the
bad.
color is certainly not flattering on him.
No.
No.
What you mean the pink?
That's not pink. That's
It's like
red.
some magenta shit almost.
It's a magenta red. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is so not flattering.
He looks like a cheap hotel umbrella that you put in the little drink became animated like Pinocchio.
No, he looks like a pimple that's been attempted to be popped at one point.
Well,
He
if
looks
keeps
like
it up,
he's an
YouTube is
over the
gonna be
hill
popping those
bartender at a Hawaiian resort.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
yeah. We should move on. We've stalled enough.
Yeah,
but if we move on, that means he's going to talk more. That's really a terrible idea.
I know,
Mom.
but we're almost halfway through.
Well,
Oh,
I
goody.
still have my drink call.
Yes, Brooke.
What's the date on this little puppy? When did he do this?
This was pretty recent, October 29th of this year.
Oh my! Well, that's as
So
he's
when he
getting
should have been in
embroiled in the
jail.
lawsuits and all the other little fun and games. Oh my!
Oh, maybe nobody did send him to the jail store.
Yeah.
No, they did.
But yeah,
was
my
released
drink
on
call was
Yes,
when he
Brooke.
showed that back part behind the road that he's trying to argue that the river current card. I'm going to call BS on that because if it would have done that, it would have carved through the road as well.
Mhm.
But not only that, living in the Midwest and country area, I've seen several things that look like, not quite a ridge, but not a cliff. It's a really low cliff where it has a nice little drop, but it's
Mhm.
not a hill, and it kind of
Right.
looks a lot like that.
Like I said, it's a gully.
Yeah,
It's a ditch.
if it's
Well,
a
that
gully,
too.
where's Fern?
Yeah.
Fern hasn't showed up yet.
All right. Well, let's
I think
continue
that was
on,
a
shall
Fern
we?
Gully reference.
I'm sure there'll be some science coming up shortly.
Downhill, and it picks up gravel, sand, and clay, and it becomes liquid sandpaper. It can eat out a giant canyon like this in 1 hour. It does not take millions of years. Notice there's all nice, neat layers here. The layers would have formed during the flood
Oh,
of
that
Noah,
looks just
and we
like
just cut
the
a canyon
Grand
in it
Canyon.
real quick with one big.
Yes, tornado.
You wouldn't get layers in a flood. Full stop. You just wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
At all. The
Tornado.
hydrological sorting thing, it doesn't form layers. At that point, it'd be like a turbulent whatever the hell.
Ogres have layers.
Tornado.
Like an
You know
onion.
this,
Ruffles
and
have
I
ridges.
know this,
But this
but
wire for
Hovind doesn't.
Yeah.
this wire-
And lays are smooth and tasty.
Oh dear.
That's Mountain Dew, mother.
All right. Well, let's continue on.
Storm.
Ooh, a gully.
Yeah.
And Canyon was probably formed 1 week.
Oh,
my God.
Grand Lake breaching the Kaibab Plateau is that thing that can't occur, and even the creationists are giving up on the damn thing. There's no evidence that there was ever such a lake upstream, as I just mentioned. Sorry, little old Kent, you're behind the curve yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad when the other creations go, yeah, even that idea is too...
Well, you know, even Ord and Snelling and the like, they do actually kind of try to pay attention to the data as opposed to taking their backyard sloshing as somehow indicative of what goes on out in the real world.
Right.
What I want to know is like, okay, 50 years after Noah's flood. Now, if there was going to be a flood, 40 days and 40 nights of rain like that, don't you think it'd make a few canyons of its own?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've done the science on it, and it's like if that much water fell in that amount of time, it would destroy the earth or whatever. But, I mean, even then, assuming, you'd think that much water would carve a few canyons.
And here's the thing with this that's really idiotic. I just read his little caption, and didn't he always say that was during the flood Grand Canyon was caused? Now it's after the flood it happened?
Can't even keep his own fucking story straight.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but, you know.
Well, I mean, how does the phrase go? You need a good memory to tell a lie?
Yeah.
Right, and the fact that he's saying this took place 50 years after Noah's flood.
Yeah.
When he originally claimed it was during Noah's flood.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, no, the current dogma, and he's at least kind of up to speed on that. The idea that the canyon itself was not done by the flood. It was supposedly the rock layers that were laid down by the flood, which magically turned into rock really, really fast without a good explanation. And then this water then carved the canyon. The problem is catastrophic floods do not make canyons of those shapes. We know exactly what makes incised canyons, and it is when the water level on one side relative to its outlet changes as fast or faster than the water can erode it. That's done by continental uplift, like the Colorado Plateau. It can also occur when the outlet drops, like the Mediterranean Sea dried up 5 million years ago. And spoiler alert, there's a whole bunch of little mini Grand Canyons all across the Mediterranean formed from the receding Mediterranean Sea, including a 900-foot deep canyon where the Nile River currently is.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so what you're saying is that, science, actually has an answer for this?
Yes, and Kent Hovind, who has never been caught dead reading a science paper, is not going to hear about any of that.
Yeah.
Okay, now there is one question that remains unanswered, though, is how does all of this relate to Atlantis?
Ooh, that's an entirely different kettle of stupid. Yeah. There you have to leave creationism land and move over to the kind of wacky wooists, where there is, just like the creationists have their second coming of the month club, the Atlantis people have the here's Atlantis, no, there's Atlantis, no, here's Atlantis, no, this is Atlantis. And so you have the kind of the cluster that want to still ram it out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, even though we know so much now about the mid-Atlantic ridge that won't work. And others put it anywhere from Antarctica to the coast of Spain to fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Gina Marie Calvin Hill.
Meanwhile, the correct answer is that it is a dim reflection of the Minoan Empire that was destroyed in part by the eruption of Santorini about 1600 BC that made a really big nuisance in the eastern Mediterranean and knocked all their little seafaring empire into a cocked hat and let all those rampaging Greeks take over.
But RJ, you're so wrong. I gotta correct here. Don't you know that the Atlantis, where it's hidden, is actually in documentation? We can find it if we were to go into the Sphinx, because there's a hidden chamber at the Sphinx's feet.
Well, you can just take your Sphinx and put it where the sun don't shine there, Brooke.
Right up your Sphinxster.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
dear.
I watched too much. I watched too many idiots.
And then to show the real super loonies, then of course you have Lemuria, which is another made-up continent, and then there's another made-up continent called Mu. That one is that's the most recent one. That was
Moo?
kind of popular in the Mu, M-U.
MU.
That supposedly was an even bigger continent in the Pacific that then fragmented and formed Lemuria and Atlantis as bargain basements. This was basically shit that was made out back in the 1930s by this guy named Churchwood, and it's always a measure of how far down the woo trail you have to go to find somebody that still thinks moo is serious.
Okay, well, is that where all the moose strikers and the in City of Heroes come from?
Oh, maybe the moo variant of COVID comes from moo. You know,
Okay.
see if you.
There you go.
Here, give me
All right.
some red thread and some push pins. I've got to mount some stuff on my corkboard.
Okay.
Goodness.
Side striking, I gotta say this. We gotta just move it along.
Yeah.
I want to hear some more science from Ken.
Oh, that was utterly terrible.
I
Yes,
know. I'm
and the
sorry.
bullshits.
But-
Okay, I
we
think
gotta
we've
have Cal
milked
Bucky
this joke
knocking
long
around.
enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Come
know.
on, let's
So-
not have a cow.
All right. Well, let's
Okay.
continue on and see
I'll
if we
put
can
a
get
stake
through.
in the heart of that joke.
Let's see if we can get
How
through the rest
dare
of
he
Kent
say
Hovind
that?
here.
The cud has been well chewed.
All right, here we go.
It's my grass.
Sorry to steer the conversation in that direction.
Ooh, bionic, oh, you scamp. Dams
right, you
fail all
heifer.
the time. Does not wash out the entire dam, but finds the lowest point, cuts a notch. Here are a few examples. Well, what
We
you
already went
do?
over these.
And if that looked anything at all like the Grand Canyon,
That's not a
Yeah.
That's not a canyon.
indeed, it is not a canyon.
That's not a canyon.
Indeed, they do wash out all the time, but they don't make canyons.
Or
That's
I
not a
should say, they do
canyon.
not make nested canyons.
Yeah.
Starting to wonder if dams are even a good idea.
That's not a canyon.
I mean, if
Well,
they're gonna
especially
fail all
earthenware
the
dams of
time.
that type, they can be a terrible problem.
That
Such a
is a
damn
Ooh,
shame.
another thing that doesn't look like the Grand Canyon.
I couldn't help it.
That's not a
Ooh,
canyon.
another thing that doesn't look like the Grand
Exert
Canyon.
yourself.
That's not a canyon.
That damn joke.
It's more of a
Seems
canyon.
little fishy.
Yeah.
Ooh, and something that
What the-
doesn't
This
even
is a
look even
canyon.
like a gully.
This is
That's
like
not a canyon.
like a deforested area.
Yeah.
That had a washout, yeah.
Ooh, there have been
Ooh, a
more than
charm.
200 notable dam and reservoir failures this past
Came from
century.
Wikipedia, no doubt.
So wait, in an
Damn.
entire century, there's been 200 notable dam and reservoir failures.
Isn't that impressive? Not one of
Yeah.
them makes anything that looks like the Grand Canyon.
Ah, dear. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Maybe he's
Poor
he's
little
got
Kent.
he's got 14 seconds left. He could come out with the science at the last second.
Oh yeah, at a high
Yeah.
baud rate there.
Yeah.
Who picked the music on this?
Yeah, it's
It's-
weird. It's like halfway between mournful and happy.
Right.
It's
This is like a very slow elevator that
That's
only
what I
goes
was
from the
thinking.
first to the first floor.
Oh
I
dear.
mean, it could be hold music as well.
Yeah, it could be.
Dolphin or goat?
All right.
That's an
let's
intriguing title.
see.
Ever been on hold and they have like
Yeah.
the same song playing over and over, like 30 seconds, and then it repeats, and
Right.
it's like
Yes.
that's all they ever play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, bionic.
That's kind of what
hand.
Kent
That
does
is-
with his lecture career.
That is literally almost every place I have to call for my work. Like every nursing facility has that. It seems like.
Yeah.
You'd think in this digital age they'd have something where like you can use your keypad to select songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's much too sophisticated.
I like the ones when
would-
you call and you have to put when they put you on hold and they give you the option to hold without music. I'd rather that.
Or there's some where you can just hang up and they'll call you back when your turn
Yes.
comes up.
Yep.
I do like that.
Yeah, that's always nice too. All right, let's see here. Alrighty, let me pull the wheel back up.
Yeah, do we still got the pyramid on there?
We do. So we
Yeah.
still have we have Creepy, we have Pyramid, we have Immortal, we have Immortal 2, we have Hindu, and we have Paranormal.
If Immortal 2 is the one I think it is, I want that so much. That sounds like a lot of
Or
fun.
psychedelic wheel.
You're not going to get Immortal 1?
No.
All right, Wheel of Misfortune. Turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it. Oh God, that's nauseating.
Not as bad as his shirt.
Truth.
Right.
Paranormal.
Aw. Paranormal.
Yeah.
Is that when you have more than
Paranormal.
one normal?
Yes.
Wait,
Yes,
wait.
RJ,
You have to
it
be
would.
normal to do this one? Oh, well,
Hindu
good night, everyone.
pyramids that are immortal.
Twice.
I can't read. Oh, immortal twice. Okay. Oh God.
Not one of these.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
this is gonna be
my,
fun.
Another one with a rampaging night camera.
Yeah.
God.
Alright.
Ooh, spirits.
Let me see. I gotta fix this a little.
This must be one
Spirits
from
have
Halloween
nothing better
that
to
didn't
do
get
with
played.
their time than maybe
No, it's a new one.
attack a coach.
As I understand it, the wheel was completely empty.
It was.
Like,
Oh.
like this afternoon or whatever.
Well,
Indeed.
I put
Hmm.
in the suggestion last week of the fifth something that Gina talked about.
I don't remember seeing that one. I might have missed it. I scrolled through. I
posted
didn't
like
see it.
Saturday or Sunday last week. It was before I posted the birds one that apparently I didn't realize was satire and hadn't made it all the way through. I made like 3 minutes and I'm like, this is maybe that material. And then someone said, no, that was complete satire, and it didn't say anywhere on the video that it was. So I got.
Okay,
I
so
didn't
there's
even
a,
make it to the end of it because I'm like, if this is just the
there's like a
satire.
dog, and then there's
Yeah.
a bunch of maybe children's toys on the floor.
Uh-huh. And a coat
And a
hanging on the
coat.
banister.
And some cloths or something, towels up on the banister. So basically, this is like a tired family's house.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
AKA must be paranormal activity.
Must be.
All right. Well, let's get started and see what we've got.
Friends when they put the second cat in.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, either that or it's just that the
And now,
like I know security
the
cameras
haunted
sometimes
kitchen.
do that, you know, where they like look like it's got like a ghost image, but it's just
The spoon
not.
does not exist.
There is so much not happening.
And that was some seriously bad acting.
These were moving.
None of like this happens in my house. All
They were definitely moving.
What's moving?
There you go. See? And who saw it?
A
I don't know if you can
freaking
see that.
breeze could have done that, even though it was a light one. Like,
She's speaking English there? It didn't sound
wow.
I'm not sure.
like it. Ooh,
This is an
mysterious
amazingly
horror.
unimpressive
Flare.
set of ghosts.
Mhm.
like us dust and camera flare. Man, there's a lot of things that can be before you say ghost on that.
Right.
These are bad.
Ooh,
Dust.
there's a
It's-
strange, mysterious blob that appeared to be briefly there.
Yeah. Dust.
Supposedly
camera
something
artifacts.
climbing the stairs.
And the cat paid no damned attention.
Nope. Cat.
That is like, that's like dust or hair. There's a lot that can be because if it picks up on the IR camera, it looks like a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Fishing line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do people
And of
buy
course,
this?
we all know the collection of stuff never shows like provenance, dates,
Right.
background information, documentation.
No,
where
that would be
you're
too
getting any
easy.
Of this stuff. You know, I know that.
Yeah.
I'm a spoil sport.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
actually wanting facts and information.
Oh
How
dear.
dare you?
But at least
Yeah.
we now know there are several ghosts that apparently inhabit video games.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's another reason.
I
to
also
not
didn't
do it.
realize that I was muted in the
kinda like
in the team chat there, so sorry about that.
Pac-Man has ghosts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think they're more believable than those.
Plus,
Yeah.
they make cute little sounds.
Inky, Blinky.
Pinky and Clyde.
Yep.
Pinky and Clyde, yes.
All right.
Anybody remember the TV show?
I remember Saturday Supercade.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, kids, were you all scared out of your wits by such terrifying
yes.
paranormal activity?
Oh,
Most definitely.
so
Boy,
scary.
scary. Good thing we didn't put this out on Halloween. It could have been really terrifying.
Exactly.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the stupid that we should burn. Spin it!
Tres. Cuatro?
Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uno, dos, cinco, seis.
Immortal.
Oh, immortal.
I
So
thought I was
close to
getting
my
lucky.
pyramids.
My pyramid video. And yes, I will
Alright.
take full responsibility for suggesting that. And I have no shame.
All right, well, Immortal 1 and Immortal 2 aren't actually named Immortal 1 and Immortal 2, so you guys get to pick which Immortal 1 we do. We have Real Life Immortal, The Count of Saint Germain,
Oh, dear.
or Top 10 People Who Claim to Be Immortal.
Ooh,
Oh,
both of them are
top
probably
10.
equally stupid. Yeah.
All right.
Top 10.
Top 10
yeah,
it is.
yeah, let's
then.
find out who the current immortals are so we can keep track of them and make sure they
Yeah,
never die.
seriously.
That makes sense.
I'm sure one of them is Betty White.
Of course.
Okay, I
She
would
at least
believe that
deserves
one.
immortality.
Yeah.
I would believe that one.
All right. Yes, that's apparently supposed to be the
Ooh.
same guy, I think.
Same person. Yes.
And it might be, but
Yeah.
are you looking at that photo quote? That is not a 1917 photo.
No, it's
That
not.
is not. That's a filter on a modern day photo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us take a look here and see what we've got.
The oldest human being to ever live was Jean Calment. She was born in 1875 and died in 1997 at the age of 122. Everyone agrees this is the longest a human being has ever existed for. Well, not everyone. Some people say there are others much older than that. Some people say there are humans who have become immortal. Some people even say that they themselves are immortal. Do you believe them? Let's find out. My name is Danny Burke. And
Yes, Tornado.
And some people believe that Lemuria was a real continent, that people can onk their sexual energies, and that Martians stole the bodies of space Jews.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it true.
I'd like to know who the some people are. That would be nice if they
You're
were
in
mentioning
science
that.
on the space Jews.
Oh, maybe he'll tell us.
Jews in space.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, I love the badge they have for the Jewish space lasers thing because it says Mazel Tov.
Oh my goodness.
I love that. Mazel Tov.
All right. Let's see.
So let's meet these really old people.
Yeah. Here we
Or
go.
the immortals.
this is the top 10 people claimed to be immortal. Starting off at number 10 now, we have Alex Chew. He is a 46-year-old man who claims to be immortal. How has he achieved that? Through the use of his immortality rings. He invented these small magnetic
Do those look like to anybody else not immortality rings?
And
They kinda
probably to
look
be
like
worn lower
BDSM
than the
gear.
hand.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
We are a geeky group.
Well,
I mean, oh dear.
kinky. Whatever do you mean?
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Not the
Kate?
spatula.
okay. I would put that up right now. There are so many jokes I can make that you
Well, what
are
I
just
find
lowballing
interesting
here.
Yeah.
is
But
that-
I will not take a whack at it.
Well, I use that paddle pretty much like back when I was making live videos to tell people that vertical video is an abomination indeed. That's a paddling.
Well, let's go to Tornado with the hand up.
So you're claiming someone's invented immortality rings. Those don't look like rings, much less immortality rings.
Oh, they're a ring.
Just not the kind that goes on your finger.
Yeah, really.
And don't look that up, Tornado. You will be scarred.
Those better not be what I think those are.
It is.
They are.
They are.
I don't know for
What are
sure.
When stroking the cobra, you can make use of one or both of those.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go over to Brooke with the hand up.
Just absolute woo idiocy and moronicness. That's
Yeah.
take your pick on which words you want to substitute in, or all of them, because
Right.
that's about all I gotta say on that.
I want to know, like, how did he research these immortality rings? Like, were there failed experiments? Are there rings out there that are only making kind of immortal?
Good
Well,
question.
no, maybe like he tried to be immortal 5 years ago and it didn't take, but now he is immortal, and so he's been immortal now for 18 months.
Yeah.
He came up with the idea when he failed No Nut November, and he's still salty about it.
Yeah.
Please, I failed
you know-
November on the first day, and I'm not salty about it.
I bet these rings also come with 5G and Bluetooth.
Oh, probably. I think you're right. Well, let's continue on and see what else we got here.
Rings to be worn on people's fingers and toes to ensure that people's cells
Oh, thank
always
you.
heal properly and never die. Apparently, if the cells constantly regenerate, then the person never dies. He
Well,
says
see if
he
he
has
outlives me.
modernized ancient Chinese medicine to make immortality accessible for everyone. You can actually buy these rings on
Right.
Amazon right now, although I
Yes, Brooke?
Cells don't work like that, nor does biology.
Are you sure? I mean, it sounded so logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also sounds logical that says when you look at lightning, it goes from the sky to the ground, even though we know that it's not true.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Tornado, you had your hand up?
I think he's forgotten to put it down.
Sorry.
All right.
It's been
Well,
up for a while.
Hey, you got some rings for those hands now.
let us continue on.
Don't be
don't
a
recommend
dick,
it.
RJ.
They come in either black or white, although the black one costs more because it's stronger, apparently. Listen, I don't know how it all works. I'm just a mere mortal. Next up at number 9, we have Leonard Jones. He was an American politician born in 1797 who claimed to be immortal. More
Drink.
interestingly, though, he claimed
Yes, Bionic Dance.
He was an American politician. I mean, either he retired or he's a little bit on the dead side.
Right. AKA not immortal.
Yeah.
Now if they had current pictures of the guy,
Right.
I mean, this video is also called "Who Claim to Be Not Who Are," so maybe that's how he's trying to argue it.
Maybe.
But yeah, my drink is he's in the gardening business now, specializing in daisies.
Yes, and pushing them up.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right. Well, let's see what else we got.
that anyone else could be immortal, you just needed the right amount of fasting and praying. He found a preacher that believed the same as him, and together they founded the Live Forever faith and tried to recruit people to found a city of immortals. While they
my
were recruiting,
goodness.
the preacher died.
Yes, Tornado.
So he believed that the way to live immortal was to fast and what now?
Pray.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how that works.
It's not. Oh man.
And the preacher died.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of ruined that bit.
Just a
bit.
little. Maybe his faith wasn't strong enough.
Maybe.
Yeah, see,
Maybe he didn't
maybe.
pray enough.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Alrighty, here we go.
Apparently, Leonard Jones was very much embarrassed when he had to speak at the funeral of his immortal partner. He then switched to politics and tried to run for US president many times, with his main policy being, his immortality. Sadly, he lost a lot of support when he died, age 71, and people say you can't trust politicians. Alright, Right, at number 8 now, we have the Wandering Jewish Man. In medieval Europe, there was a story of a Jewish man who was there at the crucifixion of Jesus. As he saw Jesus carrying the cross, the man taunted him and told him to hurry up. Jesus then turned to look at him and cursed him to walk the earth until he returned in the second coming. His name was Ahasuerus, and countless people said they saw him wandering the earth hundreds of years later. Sometimes he was old, sometimes young, or even changed between the two.
Yes, Brooke.
So basically, it's a folk tale. It's an urban legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's their proof of people being immortal. Can they produce them?
Yeah, I don't think there's any real good evidence there.
Starting to look kind of dim, isn't it?
Yeah. Bionic Dance.
I'm just wondering if this guy eats juniper berries.
Hmm.
I don't know, but
Sorry, it's just he kind of looks like Terry Jones's character from Life of Brian, the one who took a vow of silence. Never mind. Never mind.
I do have proof that people can be immortal, and I am firmly believing I am one of them, and let me explain why. People say that you will sleep when you die, but there's no rest for the wicked, so by that logic I must be immortal, right?
Yeah,
that's how that works, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, most people don't believe I'm 46, well, almost 46 years old. I think I might be a Highlander.
I would have guessed you were around my age, and like maybe a little bit older than me, like 34 or 5.
Well, no, in December I'll be 46.
Woo!
Well, happy early birthday.
Are you the Highlander?
All right. Well,
let's find out who are high tiered, because we were starting at the bottom,
Yeah.
like with the dead ones. So we have to work our way up to the really serious.
yeah, I mean, when we get to number 1, I'm
impressive
sure
ones.
it'll be, irrefutable evidence.
Oh yeah.
Others say it's simply a story of symbolism for the Jewish diaspora that have moved across the earth over the past millennia. What do you guys think? Moving on to number 7 now, we have the Immortal Monk. In 1927, the leader of a group of Russian Buddhist monks gathered his followers to announce his own death. His name was Dashi Dorzo Itigelov. He predicted that Stalin, Russia's leader, would persecute them, and he warned them to flee. Then he said he would return in 75 years, and in a deep meditation, he passed away. Then, many years later, his body was exhumed. The monks were amazed to find his body perfectly preserved. His limbs were flexible and the skin was
not
elastic.
quite immortal.
In 2002, his body was put on display in the temple. It was 75 years on, and he
Well,
had
imagine if he
apparently
was
returned.
immortal,
The Buddhists
but
believe that he
trapped in
remained
that.
in a deep meditative state on the edge of life
No
and
one
death.
says
Next, at number 6
immortality
now,
means
we have
eternal youth.
Nicholas Flamel. You might recognize this guy's name from Harry Potter as the immortal wizard who created the Philosopher's Stone and was a good friend of Dumbledore's. Well, that fiction is based on the real Nicholas Flamel. He was a French scribe born in 1340, and records show that he died in 1418. However, hundreds of years later, in the 1700s, stories started to emerge that he was still alive. People said he was an alchemist who had discovered the real Philosopher's Stone and achieved immortality. There are people who believe Flamel faked his own death and went into hiding to protect this powerful artifact from getting into the wrong hands, and that he's still out there today. Coming in at number 5 now, we have Merlin. Merlin was said to be the legendary wizard figure at the court.
Yes, Brooke?
I mean, are we really going fictional characters from legends now?
Maybe
Wait
like
a
he's
minute,
gonna
you're trying
claim
to
that.
tell me that Merlin wasn't real?
Well, maybe he's gonna try to claim that there's a
No.
real Merlin out there who inspired J.R.R. Tolkien's character.
Yeah.
It's Gandalf.
Or not? No, you're right. I'm thinking of Gandalf. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Gandalf was more
Have
Odin.
you ever seen Gandalf and Merlin in the same room? Are you sure they're not the same people? Yeah.
But no, there's no proof that Merlin existed, and pretty much most people agree the story of Arthur is complete legend and bollocks.
Yeah.
You're
You know
just
what I
raining on our
wonder?
parade
Like-
here, Brooke.
I wonder if, as a kid, his parents called him Artie. You know, King Arthur?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little baby. Oh, little Artie. Oh, I just often wonder. It's just this thing.
It's possible.
It's kind of like, as a kid, do you think William Shakespeare was ever called Billy?
Probably.
It's possible. Yeah.
I don't think so because I think the nickname Bill came about after.
Okay, fine. Will. Then. Will Shakespeare.
I mean, maybe. I mean, at least he.
Good old Willie.
Willie.
Willie
That might be
Willie
one
Shakespeare.
thing, but at least he does not have the name of someone I went to school with. Their first name, Richard.
Ah, yes. Gotta love
That
good
guy's
old
middle
Dick.
name? Harry. I'll let you guess how that one works out.
Yeah.
Harry. What?
Wow. Well,
All
if they
right.
do it library style, his name is Harry Dick.
Yeah.
That's exactly what how people. I'm like, man, your parents really hated you or did not think that name through.
Yeah.
Well, I do wonder about the
What was his
motivations
middle
of
name?
Crystal Ball's parents. What were
Yeah.
they thinking?
But that was Harry was his middle name.
I knew
I don't
somebody
remember
when I
what
was
his
younger.
last name was.
I knew somebody when I was younger that their last name was Bird, and they were almost named Harry as a newborn, and then they thought that one over.
What, Harry Bird?
Yeah, it just has
I don't
bad
get it.
connotations.
Does it?
Yeah, like a bird, like a like a bird. I can't
Like
think
a
of
bird
the-
on a wire?
Kind of. I can't think of exactly the phrase that's used for it, but another reference to a hairy penis.
Oh. I guess I don't know. I mean, I've heard last turkey in the shop, but I don't think that's what you mean.
No.
I knew someone whose last name was Rain, and her first name was Autumn.
Interesting.
Okay.
Autumn Rain.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones out there. You got to be kind of careful when picking kids'
I knew
names.
this guy in
It's
college. His
horrible.
name was Whitney Garlock, which to me sounds like a redneck vampire.
It does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think the best one I know is someone who I knew him because they were in the military and they were in one of my classes in college, and they had like ROTC or something like they had to go do, and they were wearing their uniform because they had to go right after class to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. That's when I found out he was in the army.
Mm.
His last name
Mm-hmm.
was Cox.
Oh,
I'm like,
oh my
feel
god.
so bad for you. I asked him one time, I'm like, how much hell did you get in basic
Yeah.
training and that? And he goes, hell does not even begin to describe
I
my
bet.
name. And I'm
Well,
like,
it was literally Harry Cox.
no, Private Cox. He was a private first class.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I suppose that's better than a public Cox.
Well, that's true.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just
Private.
picturing if he'd been an officer, Major Cox.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, let us continue on, shall we?
Lieutenant
Of
Cox.
King Arthur. King Arthur himself is
Commander
a figure that
Cox.
is
Salute
steeped
the
in
Cox.
both history and legend. It's often difficult to untwine the two. Merlin was said to be half human, half demon. His demonic side was where he inherited
Wasn't that a scene from? Oh God.
Sword in the Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Sword in the Stone?
Animated.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
thinking of the other one, Fantasia, but no, that
Oh
was.
no, that was
That's
definitely
Oh, no,
Don
that, yeah,
Bluth.
that was
That
the
was-
Balrog
that
or
was-
whatever it is up on the mountain.
That
Okay.
was the animated Sword in the Stone.
Ah, all right, gotcha. Yeah, my
Sure enough
memory was
on.
off on that.
Oh no, that was Disney. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All
A
right.
long time ago.
I don't know what
his
I'm thinking of
incredible
with
powers
Don
and
Bluth.
abilities, but his human side put them to work for good.
Maybe,
One of these inherited powers was
Secret of Nim,
immortality.
there's a guy
Believers
with a
in his
rabbit
existence say that you can
that
find
looks like
sightings
that.
of Merlin throughout British history, many hundreds of years after his time with King Arthur. Others say this is
Sure.
just retellings of the same story. The only way to
Drake.
find
Yep.
the truth is
Yes, Mom NATO.
Nobody ever said Merlin died. What we do know is the myth of Merlin was that he was trapped in crystal by Nimue?
Morgan Le Fay.
Yeah, I was like, it was Morgan Le Fay.
Morgana,
No.
I thought.
It wasn't Morgan Le Fay who trapped him. It was Nimue.
Well, heck,
Okay.
I'm just
Her name
going
was
by the
Morgana.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excalibur.
Yeah.
That was a documentary.
Or Stargate.
No,
But the
no.
point is that supposedly Merlin will come back when Arthur does.
Fat chance on that one.
Well,
Yeah,
Arthur
exactly.
already came back. Has anyone ever seen Avalon High?
No.
Or
But-
here's but the real documentary, RJ,
Yeah.
that was Monty Python. That's the
Yeah.
real documentary.
It's only a mogul.
Listen, strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government.
Exactly. Now here's the question: what's the average airspeed of an unladen swallow?
What do you mean?
African or European?
And four shall be the count of the sacred grenade of Antioch.
Yeah, but the whole point is that nobody ever said Merlin died. Nobody ever said, and supposedly Arthur is waiting in Avalon for the right
Next to
time.
Godot.
Okay, but I'm starting to wonder if Dude Boy here tells us there have been Merlin sightings, like Merlin got
Right.
on camera or something, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's
Yeah,
continue
I
on.
think these are not like recent ones, and of
Right.
course, this guy's not exactly a font of documentation.
Let's see what else we got.
To keep picking apart the fact from the fiction. At the number 4 spot now, we have the
Oh.
3 Nephites. According to Mormons, Jesus visited what is now America after his resurrection. He chose 12 apostles, and when his time came to leave, 3 of them
I wanna
had to
see
stay
them as a
behind
rock group,
forever
the
to
3
help
Nephites.
humanity and watch over them. Jesus was said to have granted this, and Mormons believe the 3 Nephites still walk among us today. As proof of this, they point to stories of kind strangers helping people throughout history before disappearing without a trace. Next up at number 3 now, we have Achilles.
Yes, Brooke.
Achilles?
Oh God. I really need to be a heel with this train call before
Yeah.
we get to Achilles.
No!
But I gotta make it. Again,
Didn't he, like
asked and
die in the
answered.
story.
Asked and answered with the basing it off of legends and mythos of religion.
Right.
Are we gonna get? Are we gonna have number 1 as Gilgamesh?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Okay, since
we
we seem
haven't
to be
gotten to
moving
the monk
into
yet.
legendary territory here.
You already did the monk.
Did we? I don't think.
Yes.
Wait, with the photo?
I
No,
don't know.
Gilgamesh and Atrahasis, all the various figures in the Babylonian flood myths got the booby prize of immortality. I think Atrahasis. There we go.
They did say that this monk was in some sort of trance, and
Maybe that's what it was supposed to be. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I was falling asleep through it, so.
I'm waiting for pyramids to show up.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah,
All right.
let's just
Tornado,
step
put
on
your
it
hand
and
Yeah, let's see
And
what
not
else we
be
got.
feeling-
Yeah,
more
we'll finish
make
off
people
old
wait.
Achilles here because the Trojan War did.
I'm sure you've all heard of the phrase Achilles' heel. This is the guy it comes from. He was said to be a legendary Greek hero of the Trojan War. The story goes that when he was a baby, he was dipped into the river Styx, the river that separates Earth from the underworld. This made him invulnerable to everything, even death itself, effectively making him immortal, except for one tiny thing. They held him in the river by his ankle, meaning that his ankle was totally vulnerable. He was killed by a poison arrow to that
It's
ankle
not
in a
immortal.
battle, thus bringing his immortality to a swift end. Achilles' heel
You know, if you're
really was his
immortal,
Achilles' heel.
your
Next up at number 2
immortality
now,
can't
we
be
have
brought
the
to an
Count
end.
of Saint Germain. He was a European nobleman who was born in 1691 and was known for his works in science, the arts, and philosophy. He was said to have
Yeah,
attained
science in air
immortality
quotes.
after drinking an elixir which he made through his mastery of alchemy. He travelled European courts where
Sure.
nobles
Good
were
alchemy
astonished to
does it
see
good.
he had not aged a single day in the 50
Or
years since
he's
they
just
last
a
saw him.
giant
Many
fraud.
people said that he
Yeah.
could live forever, even himself having confessed on at least one occasion to be 300 years old using the secrets of universal medicine. Records show he died in
AKA
1784 at the age of 93,
drink.
but there have been
Yes, Brooke.
if he is 300 years old, then I'm 1,000 years old.
I'm a
No,
Methuselah.
If he's 300 years old, then I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Nice to meet you, Your
I mean,
Highness.
it wouldn't shock me to discover that, like, just a family decided to punk the world through the generations.
Right.
You know, like he had a son who looked just like him. Hey, let's you know.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I mean, it's be like, if someone tried to compare me to my Grandpa Mac, I look almost exactly like my Grandpa Mac.
Right. Well, let's see here. We're almost at the end.
Countless stories of his appearance since then, even as recently as the 1970s. Alright, finally at number 1 now we have Qin Shi Huang. He was a famous Chinese emperor whose dynasty lasted 400 years. Some of the most famous works under his rule include the Terracotta Army and parts of the Great Wall of China. He was said to be so loved by his people that they thought of him as an immortal. This was a prophecy Qin Shi was more than happy to fulfill, and he became obsessed with seeking immortality. On 2 occasions, he sent hundreds of people out into the world to find the legendary elixir of life. Both times were a failure. In the end, he died of mercury poisoning after he ate too many mercury pills given to him
So
by
this is not about people who were immortal, it's about people who were hoping to be immortal?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, okay, because what I was gonna say was that, like, okay, he sent a whole bunch of people out looking for this elixir, but when they found it, why wouldn't they just use it and be immortal and, fuck
And,
that guy?
What do you not know that they didn't?
You never
one
know.
pissed off emperor, as the guys went off into somewhere and were immortal, and they're here right now.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so, but you never know.
Yeah.
doctors to try and make him mortal. Oh dear. Well guys, I'm not sure how I feel about some of those stories, but there's no smoke without fire.
Yeah, well, that's the end of that one there.
Well,
Alright.
drink. When he says there's no smoke without a fire, drink. You can have smoke without fire.
Well, that's
well,
true.
I'm smoking, if that's what you mean.
Well, all right. What do you guys think? We've been an hour and a half. One more, or end it?
Pyramids.
I mean, I'm hungry, but I can survive another one.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see. Let me see what we got here. Hold on one second. All right. Let me close that one. Oof, the pyramids is a long one. That's gonna have to be an early one.
Oh.
Pyramids is 15 minutes. We'll be here another 4 or 5 hours.
I'm okay with that. I can go all night.
I mean, if no one minds me eating on camera, fine.
Supposedly it's made of concrete.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll save that one. Well, we have 4 on the wheel for next week, so at least we have a good head start. But we need some more videos. So, if anybody in the live chat does have any videos that they'd like to submit and watch us torture ourselves with, please go ahead. You can send them to me on Twitter or in Discord or anything like that. So by all means, if there's anything you want us to take a look at and watch next week, please bring it up.
Because I don't think we've run out of stupid.
There's plenty of stupid in the world. We'll never run out.
RJ, isn't that why you guys have me on the panel to make sure the stupid is always here?
Yeah. We also, oh yeah, starting this week, I'm going to be in training for the next 4 weeks at work. So that means my schedule is going to go back to Monday to Friday for the next couple of weeks. So with that, we should still be good for most Fridays. I'm going to be working till 5:30 Eastern. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that night, if I'm real tired or whatever.
Just wing it. It can be bumped to the Saturday.
Yeah, so worst case, it may or may not be moved to Saturday or Sunday, because I'll be off Saturdays and Sundays for the next couple of weeks. So we'll see. We'll try to keep you as updated as possible ahead of time, but we'll still have movie night. That's a definite.
All right.
So I think we are going to wrap it up for the evening. I'm pretty tired tonight as well, and I think we've covered quite a bit of stupid. Kent Hovind was pretty exhausting in itself.
Oh.
Just watching 5 seconds of Kent Hovind is kind of like you have to wash off with turpentine afterwards.
I'm heading off, guys. Yeah.
Good night, Tornado.
Bye, bro.
All right, so let's
Nice to
see
chat with you
here.
again.
Let's bring up our. We'll bring up our kitty for the night. He's pirate kitty.
And see y'all.
Good night, Tornado. All right. So with that, everybody, I do want to thank you all again for coming out. I appreciate you all in the live chat, and I appreciate everybody on the panel. I hope you guys have a good night. And don't forget, if anybody does want to be on the panel going forward or even host it, you know, I would still produce, so you don't have to worry about having any kind of, you know, that kind of knowledge-y stuff. But if you'd like to host or be on the panel, please reach out as well. So with that, we will say good night, panel.
Good night, panel.
Panel.